It was the worst mistake he's ever done. He got annihilated.
So Sir Alex brought me over and I came down to a choice between Celtic and Man United.
Went in the shower, we're all in the shower, and Shay just goes, boom.
Welcome to the good, the bad and the football. We are 12 podcasts in, and at last, finally, we have got the most important player in any football team. The number one position. Goalkeeper, 451 Premier League appearances, two-time PFA Team of the Year. Shay Given.
Yes, Paddy.
How are you, my mate?
See the union,
Shay.
see the goalkeepers union.
Good to see you, Shay.
Scholesy, lad.
Doing this,
You
mate? You all right?
Honestly, last night I was so excited. Last night I was like a kid in a sweet shop. I beat these two in
First time he's ever been in early, by the way.
Prep's key, Paddy.
So many questions to ask you, but before we get into it, I learned something over the weekend again, and I like to test Nicky's his general knowledge is up there. But do you know how honey's made?
Oh, here we go. Something to do with bees, isn't it?
Wasn't ready for this, lad.
Is it a trick question, or?
No, go on. How's it
Bees.
made? Yeah, we know bees, but how?
Oh.
How does a bee make honey? Now, this might, if you're listening or watching this might put you off, honey, so I do apologise.
It's vomit, isn't it?
He's got it. He's got it.
I mean, that's just kill you on it.
Hey, but I tell you what, he wouldn't have known that unless I said, I've given him a clue there saying put you off.
Is that right? Did you know it?
I knew it. No, it's in back. I'm always food and drink.
Right,
So
what he does,
food and drink.
You see a lovely
Expert. I wouldn't have a clue.
bumblebee goes to a flower, gets the pollen, and when it's flying back with the pollen, it puts it in its mouth, chews it up, swallows it, gets to the beehive, spews it up into the mouth of a worker bee. The worker bee swallows its spew.
It's still about honey here.
Still it. Goes into the
Where
thing,
have you been this weekend?
then spews it up twice. That's your honey. And we all put it all over our stomach. Oh, that's lovely. I know. Not me sick.
Yeah, David Beckham actually makes it, doesn't he? He's got his own. Yeah, he's got his own beehive and all that stuff. Yeah,
I bet he doesn't know that.
DB, is it called DB?
He
or
won't know
something?
that.
I had a slice of
Of course
toast
he will.
this morning. I'm not even
Keep
joking.
trying, Ray, Paddy. Might get me out one of these days. Keep trying.
Bex is probably using the honeycomb to make candles. For his room. Candles for his room. And do you know what amazes me about when you're a goalkeeper? And this is where I had a newfound respect when I started doing it. If these lads score a goal, everyone's banging on about it all week. You pull off a save to keep your team in the game, you get a bit of a well done. That's it.
It's a nice height for the
they've
goalkeeper.
forgotten
It's a
about
nice
that.
height
No,
for the
keepers
goalkeeper.
have stopped doing that. Keepers have started celebrating, haven't they, Shay?
Well,
Yeah,
if you
they
make
have a bit,
if
come
you
on.
make a worldie, like it's okay.
Yeah,
like.
they're
But I think
and
deep
stuff.
down, when you're in a squad and you play with, I was lucky to play with Shay for a good few years at Newcastle, and obviously had great keepers at United. When you're in a squad and you know you got a good goalkeeper, it's the most best feeling in the planet. We used to with Shay or with Schmeichel or any top keeper, when they're going through one-on-one, it's very rare you think they're going to save this. But with him and with particularly with Pete, I always felt they're not going to score. Obviously, most times they did because it's really difficult 1v1 going through a top-class forward or a midfielder. But when you've got someone behind you that's dominant and can pull off saves like these lads can do, it gives you the freedom to go and play football and think, well, I'm a midfielder. My position was a defensive midfielder, stopping people scoring goals, if you like. But I knew if someone went past me...
Didn't always work. That was the job.
I knew if people went past me, they then got the defenders. But if they went past the defender, they still got an unbelievable goalkeeper in goal. And yeah, it's fortunate.
I think for goalkeepers, buddy, is for me is the calmness.
Yeah.
If you're walking out, you guys are walking out, and you know, like for example, Peter Schmeichel's behind you. It's like today. I don't know if they worry about that position.
Yeah.
But if you've got someone who's like a 3 out of 10 one week and an 8 or 9 the next week, you're going, what's this guy going to bring to the group this week? You know. So
did that work the other way around? Where when you'd go out, if you're kind of key defenders, if you like, who were always in front of you, your reliables, if one were injured or a couple were injured, did you always go out there and think it's going to be hard work today?
I think ideally you want a consistent backline, and of course the defensive midfielder is really important in front of that. But you're just sort of, I think as a goalkeeper, you're just testing yourself against the opposition as much as anything. You'd like a settled back four, wouldn't you? But
do you know with that, Shay? Like obviously, when me played in midfield, you go up against your player, and you're thinking, I've got to know. Who do you look at? The obvious question is the centre forward. But if you've got a player going in the box late, like Scholesy would do, or the Lampard would do, who would be your focus on?
Don't remind me about Scholesy coming into the box late.
Yeah,
We'll get on to the
Did you play
hat-trick
in that
later.
game?
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever saved one of my shots.
Oh,
I saved one on the way out once, I think.
Famous thing is, in it, is a keepers union, a keepers club,
Yeah.
and I always see it when you're all together. You know, the 4 or 5 of you nowadays is even more into with the warm up keepers and what have you. But when you're in that environment, obviously you was always predominant number one. If ever you get dropped from that environment, do you think selfishly, I hope you have a shitter today? No, seriously, it's a serious question because we talk about it. He's one of my best mates, and like we went to and fro with his positions, and he was playing for me, and vice versa. And so I would think, I want us to win today, but I don't particularly want Scholesy to play brilliant because he's taking my. Did you ever think that, or is it something like a total different mindset? You talk about mindsets from goalkeepers.
Well, it's difficult because you know the position is a difficult position, but you don't want him to have a worldie because you know next week you're going to be sitting on the bench again. Do you know what I mean? So, but at the same time, you're playing for the club. You want the club to win and all that kind of stuff. So it's not.
Just throw one in.
Just throw it. We had a funny one. Remember Steve Harper, obviously in Newcastle.
Yeah.
So we were 1 and 2 for a good few years and whatever. And if a trialist or something would come to the football club, me and Harps would have a chat before and goes, right then, this guy, right. So we'll be bending it. You know, like normally the keepers, Paddy, you've been there like warming up, just nice. We're lashing them high, low, smashing the top corner. I think I broke someone's wrist once. And then like the goalie coach Terry Gann or whatever after go, gee, it wasn't great time, was he? Wasn't up. Me and Harps, I'm not sure about him. Like, me and Harps, we've seen another one off.
Was you always a keeper, Shay?
No, I was actually centre forward when I was a kid. Yeah, I was top goal scorer from my school. So I think people say every goalkeeper there's a frustrated striker trying to get out. But
So when did you go to?
Well, my dad was a goalkeeper, so he sort of, I don't know what's his metaphor was like. It's a really specialised position, and there's only one goalkeeper. So I think if you really sort of specialise in that position, you've got a chance of doing something. And from the northwest of Ireland and Donegal, from the country, like, and to watch the Premier League was amazing. Like, but to say like, to think you'd play there, I think it was a big long shot. Like, it's more like a dream in inverted commas to even get spotted, to be honest. So. Just my dad must have seen something in me as a goalkeeper more than a centre forward, perhaps.
So you was at a club. Sorry, Paddy. You was at a club in Ireland, and you went to Celtic. Didn't you? But you didn't actually play for Celtic.
No, I was on the bench a few times. I didn't play. I left when I was 18. But I was training with these guys when I was. You won't remember this, will you?
No.
I was on trial at Man United as a kid.
Really?
Yeah, at the Cliff. Yeah.
Do you remember?
I didn't remember it then, but I remember it now.
No, as a goalkeeper.
Oh, right, I thought you were still... Right.
So Sir Alex brought me over and I came down to a choice between Celtic and Man United. And I choose Celtic because of Peter Schmeichel, obviously mentioned before. And then Packy Bonner was coming to the end of his career, you know. But I remember training the Cliff with these guys, and I remember someone pointing him out, Scholesy, actually. And what age are you? What age are you, 51?
51, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm 50 in a few months. Send the presents to the podcast and all. But like when I went to the Cliff, you know, when you walked into the Cliff, the training ground, and all the balls were lined out on the left and all, and I was sort of standing in reception waiting for someone to bring me through or something, and like Peter Schmeichel's going past and all these, like obviously all you guys, and then somebody pointed out him, like, and he goes, he's unreal, this guy. When you see him play football, like he was only like, don't you stand up, he's small, and looked like him. I was like, him?
The same size. I was just a bit
not grown.
Him with a Turkish delight in his mouth. Surely not.
But yeah, so I chose Celtic basically because, you know, Packy Bonner was at 33, 34, Schmeichel just in his prime. Like I said, my dad was saying the best chance of getting into the first team would be at Celtic before Man United. So.
And it's good experience up there as well. Speaking of goalkeepers and getting you this, be interested to see your opinion on this. And Donnarumma's, I think the technical term for it is shithousery. He's kind of gone down, giving it, and which is give Pep time to get the team together.
It's been out. I remember it happened years ago when I was at Oldham, funny enough. And then 5 games I did. Lincoln away, they used to do it. The Cowley brothers. Yeah. But our goalie coach used to, I think he knew him. And he was warning me about it all the time, but there's nothing you do about it.
Something needs to change.
It goes down. It happens all the time now.
You see it all the time. It's been happening when we've started playing Europe, but we're just naive to it, and I think it's part of the game. And I think people get carried away with it. And for me, look, if the Leeds were up or needs to do it, they'd do it. It's just what happens in football.
I think we need to stop it though.
But I think it's wrong. But
it's wrong.
It's bending in the rules or whatever you want to call it, because cheating. And if it does happen, the last thing that should be allowed, Pep shouldn't be allowed to bring the whole team in and get in the tactical board. You know what I mean? They should also stay in their positions. That's exactly what happened, and the whole team's coming in.
Going off, I think that's you don't need this uncalled for.
But would that be a conscious thing before they get? Is it like a break glass in emergency plan? You go, look, if we are on our arse, one of you feign injury so we can
Well,
get
it's not one of us.
We see it every week, honestly.
It's the
You'll
goalkeeper
see the manager.
specifically because the goalkeeper can't leave the
go
pitch.
off,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the outfield player.
Sure, you'll see the manager as well shout on keeper.
Yeah. One of
Really?
one of the subs will tell him or something. One of the subs warm up.
Honestly, that's mind blowing to me. That
It's been going on for years. Yeah.
Shay, how do you think football's changed with the goalkeepers compared to when you played? Obviously, they're all becoming a lot better with the feet, a lot more technical. I mean, example, the guy, the Tottenham guys get loads of stick from the game the other day.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit harsh because he's actually ended up in his left back position and he tried to clip one down the line with his left foot. Now, a goalkeeper, in my opinion, shouldn't be expected to clip a ball down the line with his left foot, particularly when he's right-footed, in the left.
should
in
do
the,
it then,
in
should
the
he?
left. No, but what I'm saying is the keepers, the players should know going back there that most of the players, except probably 3 or 4 of the goalkeepers, are incapable of doing that, and it's really grates on me that everyone expects him. So he's been abused, hasn't he? He got abused for that goal. He's been blamed for it. But to go, and I'd still believe, to go into the left side of the channel to be able to clip the ball down the line and expect to do that as a goalkeeper, I think that's a bit harsh for me. But
I think a lot of goalkeepers, the modern day goalkeepers, are asked to play, but at the same time, I think that is the Vicario one at the weekend was a bit of a strange one because I think Scholesy, got to agree with Scholesy in the sense he was in the left back position, as you said. The goal's wide gaping open and he was lots of bodies and stuff around him.
so what you do, just kick it out?
I think at that stage you're thinking I'm in no man's land here. If this goes wrong, it could go pear-shaped, which it did. But if the goalkeeper's central of the goal and he's trying to play into the 6 or play to the full-back and it's quite comfortable, then I don't mind that. But at the same time, if he does kick it out of play at the weekend, Thomas Frank goes, what are you doing? I want you to clip it down the line. We've worked on this all week, whatever. So some of the goals are blamed for how they're coached, the keepers, but you're the person in the position. You're the ones going to have to get the abuse from the Tottenham fans after that you've conceded a poor goal.
When did it all come in, that show, do you think? The keepers having to play.
Well, I think Pep's
just became football.
I think Pep has probably transformed the game so much. But the mad thing about it is, like, not everyone's an Ederson. Like, Ederson for me is probably the best goalkeeper in world football ever has been.
most assists,
but then you go down like to the bottom half of the Premier League or the Championship or even League One, and they're trying to play through mud pats and playing out from the back.
We see it in League Two, watching Salford. They try to play it, and you're looking going, if you can do that, you won't be playing in League Two. You'll be in the Championship or the Premier League.
2 centre half splitting and stuff. And sometimes, no disrespect, the keeper, which I was a position, and the centre halves are probably the worst on the ball in the whole team.
Should be.
So they're getting most of the ball, which is madness.
Yeah, I think it probably did come from Spain, didn't it? With Pep. I remember Gaz saying when Gaz went over to Villarreal, Valencia, the keepers trained with the team for the first 20-25 minutes of the game, just actually with the football, so they didn't learn how to handle the football. Obviously, it's now become a little bit obsessed.
If the manager's expecting things, what you just said about Thomas Frank, then would he then, after the game, not tear a strip off him because he's going, I'm glad you've tried that? Or,
but I think,
or would he be saying,
I think that incident was a goalkeeper mistake. I really do, because he was in no man's land down in this position. I don't think Tottenham last week would have coached, if you get the ball in the left back position, I want you to do this. I think at that stage, when there's no options and you're on your weaker foot or whatever it is, you just play to play and get back into position.
Back in your goal.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I used to watch games and I'd see a goalkeeper dive on a penalty, sort of before the player had actually committed to which side they put it on, it used to drive me mad, that. And then with doing training with David Seaman, who said to me, Luke, just pick a side and go. He used to say, literally, just as he's about to strike it, just go. And it's amazing how many penalties I've saved with that. And I used to slack. Hey, I've saved penalties. I've saved penalties. That's won us.
Is it Paddy McGuinness or do you know?
I have saved. I'm telling you.
Is that against your kids in the living room?
I have saved them at Soccer Aid. Go back and watch it. Get HMRC on it.
How many have you saved?
I've probably saved 4. Right. Over the time, and that one of the change rooms in this is their best penalty takers against No, it's their 5 against our 5. But I'm telling you, when he told me in a training session, and I saved 2 penalties straight away, right, just in a training session, so it wasn't for anything, and I couldn't believe how much advantage that gives you. And I get it now.
Picking one side and diving?
Yeah, because
is that not like common sense, though?
Because normally I used to think, normally you'd wait.
Hope they kick it to me.
Normally you'd wait. I'd wait as a person who's played out and think, I'll just see which way it goes and try and get it. But actually, you've no chance if they put power on it. But you have got chance if you go before it leaves the boot.
Yeah, and it counts out.
This is what the shit I have to put up with every week. They don't get it. They don't get it.
Rocket science.
They don't get it.
Keeper's classroom here.
I'm telling, but it's true. I think if you just go that split second
yeah,
before,
I think Shay will tell you if it's true.
I think you have to, yeah, with the power and
there
stuff.
you go.
12
And
yards.
that's
What
all
about
I
the
need.
ones nowadays
That's
that
all
go
I
up
need.
and wait for the keeper to move first?
Yeah, well, that's the trick. That's the
Sometimes
tricky
mess it
part.
up, don't they? But as well.
What do you not want from a penalty taker?
What do you mean? What don't they want? What do you mean?
So
Not to score.
Well, yeah, but where would you want it down low? Would you want it high?
Oh, what you don't want?
What you don't want?
I think power, low or high, you're struggling, to be honest. Set 12 yards out.
Unless you go before he kicks it.
I'm telling you, it's the best thing ever.
Shearer was the best at penalties.
Did
Shearer
anybody
with
ever
the power
think it?
one, and then like Cantona with the
Think on Reed,
wait
didn't
till
they?
the keeper moves.
Did he?
Yeah, one to chase after him down the Highbury.
You chased after
No, I
him.
was thinking about it. Head was coming off. Henri chipped me once. You know, like
Yeah,
that.
that's
dink down the middle.
disgraceful.
But Al was good, actually. Shearer was good because
Shearer
every
brilliant,
Friday
man.
before a game, me and him would go in the goal
Yeah.
and he would take, I don't know, like 5 penalties. Like 2 my right, 2 my left, and I would go early. Probably still wouldn't say them because of the power he puts on them, but it'd give me a bit of confidence.
He could
And
probably
in the
tell
last-
you where they were going, you still wouldn't say.
Yeah, the last couple, because that would give him confidence as well. So he's telling me I'm going to your right, and I would go early. Still couldn't save it.
Yeah, and if it's top bins, you've kind of no chance anyway.
But then he'd give me a couple that
that
wouldn't tell me, and still wouldn't save them either. Penalties wasn't for me.
Getting your confidence up.
It's not for everybody. Penalties not for everybody, Paddy.
God. I think if it goes top bins either side with power, it is what it is. You just the one for me is being chipped. That is the one.
But the other thing as well is analysing penalties. You know, goalie coaches and managers. So we went to Old Trafford.
All in the bottles now
We,
and stuff,
we went to
yeah.
Old Trafford once, and Rooney's last 3 penalties was to the keeper's right, and like the manager, the goalie coach is showing me. I says, well, he's going to change a bit like a game of cards. It's you know, poker game, innit? You're going to change it at some point. He's going to change some point. I don't care. Go to your right today, like at Old Trafford, and they always get a penalty. You mob always get a penalty at Old Trafford. Nailed on. That's why we were practicing the day before. Rooney's going to go to your right, and of course, in my head, psychology, I'm saying the manager said, the goalie coach, they've
So you
shown
can't
me,
not do
I can
penalty.
nearly not go to my right now. Yeah, go to my right. Rooney rolls it to my left, and I'm like fuming, like you know.
Remember, Pete? So if you're like you're defending a shot and the keeper's behind, if you went and pressed the shot like you naturally would do as a defender or a midfielder or a player, you go and press the keeper. If you went and did that, it'd absolutely bollock you. He wanted to see the clear shot coming from the mid edge of the box, or so if you went and tried to put your foot out like that, he'd go absolutely nuts. Because as I've learned as I got older and watched more football, a lot of the shots go through legs and get ricocheted off heels, and then the keeper hates that. And like I said about the training, if you get a clear shot with top keepers like Shay or Pete or whoever it might be, 9 times out of 10 they're going to save it. You know, a clear true strike that's with no one in front of them, you're going to save
You know,
it.
sometimes Michael used to do, which I liked as well, was you know, like free kicks around the edge of the box, 25
No
yards or
wall, no
whatever.
wall.
No wall.
Yeah.
So he's actually in the psychology going to that. You're not going to score past me from there.
And if you think about it as
Do you
well,
know
with
what
a
I mean?
wall,
Pete was
you
a
know,
lunatic, though.
he is, yeah.
Fucking lunatic.
lunatic.
All keeps a lunatic.
I'm
but he's a lunatic.
I'm the most sensible goalkeeper you know.
Yeah, you probably are. You and Edwin. You and Edwin.
Me and Paddy.
Yeah, he's not. He's disagreeing. He's E4. Yeah.
Champions League. I think Bobby Robson was the manager at the time. I know sometimes you build a wall, and I can't remember what player it was. But they whipped it over top corner, like, and I've done that there.
Yeah.
And like, you know, sometimes it's just you just can't even move.
clap,
You
just
go,
clap.
Bob Robson goes, "Hey son, what you doing? I'm 72. I can do that. I don't want you to do that. I want you to go." And I was like, "Gee, never thought of that, Bobby." Next time I'll give it a go.
But it is that thing when you're
But
in the
something's
nets
so
where you
quick
go,
in the box.
it's so easy when you're watching
Yeah,
it,
it's
isn't
very
it?
quick,
But when it's just in like, it's game over, it's a bloody nightmare.
Which of your big moves was the one that's really, you know, cements you as where you wanted to be to? Was it the Newcastle move? Was it the Blackburn? Was it the City one? Was obviously a big one for you.
Probably Newcastle was the move for me. 21, like, moved to Newcastle at 21. Kenny Dalglish gave me the number 1 jersey. They just finished second in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Like, it was a
He's
big,
only 21 then.
yeah, and it was a big statement for Kenny to go. There you go. It's up to you now. Because previously I've been out on loan a couple of times at Blackburn before that, and
Did
then
he sign you for Blackburn as
yeah,
well?
yeah.
Right.
So a lot to Kenny. You know, so much respect for Kenny, and so he brought me to Newcastle. He was the manager, and you know, obviously Cernicek was there, Hislop was there,
Cernicek,
Harper was there. So there's big competition for the position, you know. So
Pav was brilliant, wasn't he?
yeah, Pav was brilliant.
Such a
yeah.
lovely man,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then to get that opportunity, like to play in the Premier League at a big club like Newcastle as well, and I think probably finished second behind you lot, like for They've done that a few seasons, didn't they? But it was a big moment for me.
Speaking of Sir Kenny bringing you in, so you cement yourself as the number one, and then Ruud Gullit comes in, 99 FA Cup final, benches you. Like, behind the scenes, and you talk about what you want to talk about on here, it's dead relaxed, but what happens when, did you speak to Ruud and go, like, how have you made that decision?
The mad thing about it, he didn't even tell me himself. Terry Given, remember Terry, the goalkeeping coach, on the Thursday, I think, before the FA Cup final, he pulled me in training that morning and he goes, "You're not playing on Saturday, lad." I was like, "What?" He goes, Ruud says, "You're not." I says, "Why?" He says, "Oh, something to do with your kicking or something, blah, blah." I says, "Me kicking." And I played every game up to the final as well, so that made it even more difficult, and anyway, it was at my head. My head was absolutely gone at that point. Like, so there was no point in going in and speaking to him because he made his mind up, he made his decision then, but I was just raging,
Ruud had a little upset a few over there.
Yeah.
Shearer as
Shearer
well.
and Ferguson. That was a funny one with Shearer and Ferguson. You playing that game? No.
For you not to play in that final, that was ridiculous.
Yeah, I was raging.
You was clearly a better keeper.
Well, did you feel fans as well?
Were
the fans going like, "Why is he not playing?"
Well, I don't remember. It was all a bit of a blur back then, but I mean, again, going back to Steve Harper, he played and I was very supportive of him the 24 hours, 48 hours after that, because he was supportive of me every time I played. Like, we had a really good friendship, and I really wanted him to do well, but I was just angry that the way and not even to tell me, that was even more like, what's the word?
The FA Cup's a big one.
The new word today.
The FA Cup's a big one as well, isn't it? It's a massive one. Especially playing all the games like you did, and you get to the end and not playing.
It's not even fair on Steve Harper, really, is it? He's not played a game.
No.
Played a couple of league games, I think, and
because that makes it awkward between the keepers, doesn't it? Because you wouldn't. It's just human nature to go, fucking hell, I'm obviously a better keeper than him. I've played all season. Like, why has that happened? And it's not Harper's fault at all. But it feels like with yourself and Shearer, Ruud Gullit, I kind of think, as watching it as a fan and watching him going in, it just seemed to me like it was like, well, I'm Ruud Gullit, so that's that.
The funny part
that kind of chip on the shoulder type as being a great player.
Shearer and Ferguson got dropped for the North East Derby at home. They got beat, and Al was in 8 o'clock or something, and Monday morning waiting at Ruud's office, and Duncan was already there waiting for him. Imagine that for a welcome committee on a Monday morning. Let's get off Monday to a good start. Duncan Ferguson, Alan Shearer's outside your office.
Didn't Ruud get sacked that
Ruud didn't make it to the office himself.
Did he get there?
No,
I was going to say,
Did he get sacked straight after that game?
Yeah, well, I think it was the Monday morning, but he didn't go into the training ground. Yeah.
Was he a kind of manager then with decisions like where he said he never told you, which is mind blowing to me? Was he, because when you talk about, like, when I speak to like some of the ex-England lads, when they talk about Capello, he wasn't very much like a speaking to the players kind of manager. It were all dumb fruit number 2 and all the rest of it. Was Ruud like that? Was it very little interaction?
I think Ruud struggled to transfer. Obviously, he was an unbelievable player, wasn't he? One of the best Dutch players of all time, probably Ruud Gullit, and I think he felt everyone was at that level that he was at.
Yeah,
and obviously we weren't. I remember doing a training session once, and we I think it was the right back was clipping into the midfielder, and the midfielder would switch play out to the left winger to get a cross in, and I can't remember who the midfielder was, but he kept shanking out of play and this and that. Step aside, right? And so I can't remember who was in the right side.
Was it?
No. He would have found the player, but I think he stepped in. He goes, "Sink it into me," and I can't remember who it was. It was maybe Nobby Solano dinked it into him, and he's literally chested it and pinged it out. Before it even hits the ground onto the left winger's chest. Like, he goes, "Do it like this," and like lads are going, "Do you know what I mean?" It was more about me than actually coaching the team. But I obviously was a great player, but I just don't think management was for him, Paddy.
Yeah. Do you think that's a little bit like we were talking on last podcast, and I agree with what you two were saying about it's interesting how Roy Keane were never sort of thought about as the United manager. Do you think people like Ruud and people like Roy, who have been top players, that's the difficult thing about being a manager, being frustrated watching people going, why can't you do that?
Yeah, I think it would be with them types of characters, because they have high standards, don't they? And when you're seeing players in the Championship and maybe even lower than that, they would get frustrated. Of course they would.
Yeah.
And going back to probably Roy, because we've all played with Roy, it's in like, like when you're under Fergie guys, was like the hairdryer treatment and the way you speak to players and stuff. Like, people say you can't speak to players like that. You can't give players a bollocking anymore because they go under. Like, I never quite understood that. But you guys must have seen a few hairdryer treatments in the day.
Oh, just a bit. Yeah.
Did you get one or two yourselves, or was that?
I might have had one. Funny enough, I had one at Newcastle.
Did you?
Yeah. Did you play in the game? Did you beat us 4-3?
Can't can't remember.
I think Shearer scored last minute. We were 3-0
Down.
down.
That
I
Theo
came on
Roy
at
got sent
half-time.
off, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it?
Yeah. Was it?
Yeah.
No, I'm not sure it
You
was.
gave Alice
Was it
slapped at the corner, didn't
not?
you?
I remember we were 3-0 down at half time. I Subba came on at half time. I think we got it back to 3-2 and I gave the ball away in the middle of the pitch. And Shearer went up the other end and scored. The manager, I went mad at me.
Did you know when that happened? You go, I'm
No.
fucked when I go back
No,
in
not
there.
really.
And
'cause
see,
he'd done all
see
right.
when he's giving you the hairdryer, what do you ever like? Do you ever
Well,
do you ever pull your own little hairdryer out and switch it back to him? Or anything? Or is that not it?
I was usually very, very quiet and just took it.
All right.
But this time I didn't for some reason.
Okay.
Was you playing that? Yeah, and he was going mad at me, give it ball away in the fucking middle of the pitch. I just kept saying bollocks.
Yeah.
So every little, so bollocks.
Yeah, you knew you.
Was that winding him up even more?
I think that was getting him going even more.
Yeah,
So
that's not ideal.
And
Yeah,
then
you
fucking
know you
I'm
just got-
thinking Monday morning, that's me. I'm done.
It's hard. It's hard because you want to say,
Yeah.
but you just got to keep quiet, aren't you? And that, it's just. But I must say, I had loads of bollockings. We all did. But when that happens in midfield and you give the ball away, I still think you've got 6 players behind you that have got
And the keeper.
And the keeper, yes. So like maybe 5 players and the keeper.
Yeah.
You're thinking, well, they've let someone go right through and score. Like you're going to get the ball away sometime, but he would go mad. He say to us all the time, Gaffer, do not do a square pass in midfield. Remember,
Yeah.
don't ever do a square
that's
pass in
probably what
midfield.
happened.
Square pass. It was his big. He used to hate that,
Hate
wasn't
it,
it?
yeah.
Like you could try a diagonal and he won't care.
Pass it forward, fine.
You
square
used
pass.
to do a square pass in midfield and you get the ball away, and he would absolutely annihilate
I
it.
was at Derby with Wayne
Yeah.
as a coach for a year, whatever. And he used to say Fergie would come in and pick on, for example, Wayne,
Yeah.
and then Wayne would lose his head, and then but it'd be a reaction for the other players.
Yeah.
Would he use that a bit as well?
He'd pick his players. He'd pick
Yeah.
his players all the time. Unless he goes.
Even before the game,
Yeah.
you reckon he's got someone.
Is he?
Yeah. He knows.
the best one. The best one I've ever seen was Dwight Yorke when he first signed. He didn't really know the manager.
Yeah.
So he didn't know his character, and obviously we grew up with him, so we knew. It was Monaco away or something, wasn't it? Fiorentina away. Night before. So the manager's like loves his wine. So we're sat there, and the manager ordered a bottle of wine from the waitress or waiter, and he's put like a English stroke French accent, Italian accent on,
Italian accent, yeah.
and
Gaffer,
gone it,
gaffer,
and he's tried to do a little bit of seniority and all that kind of stuff, and the Yorkie's gone. Gaff is trying to speak Italian. Well,
Gaff.
the gaff trying to speak Italian.
That was a gaff in itself.
So all the lads, right, know the manager's personality.
Yeah.
He doesn't yet. He's only just got to the club. We've all gone, oh no. Like, we'll answer him.
Everyone's just double.
It's not going to end well, this.
Yorkie's got that big smile. on his face, like,
Always happy.
and you can see the gaffer going red, and I'm thinking, you better play fucking well tomorrow. You better play well
He
tomorrow.
got a bollocking,
He had a
didn't he?
shitter.
He got a bollocking,
But
yeah,
he
yeah.
got annihilated and dragged off and said, you better fucking play well. And it went mad at him. And it was the worst mistake he's ever done. So there's things you do with the manager's thing you didn't do, but he had such a mad mistake.
Did Yorkie take it? Because Yorkie seems like a real easygoing kind of one of them
He's
type
not-
of players.
You had no choice.
You have
had
no
to
choice.
take
To
it.
take it. But with Yorkie, it was a
There was
quick
only one
learning
winner.
curve for him. Quick learning curve.
Yeah,
wasn't
there's
it?
only one winner, wasn't there?
Yeah.
I'd have liked to have seen him doing that, but in like an Italian accent as well, just to rub it in even more. Spoken in a cod Italian accent. Going back just to a little bit about keepers, when you look at the Tottenham game, which you spoke about there, when you see Vicario being booed, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I feel for him actually, and I think Thomas Frank was really good after the match. He was really strong, and he said, like, I don't mind the players and himself getting booed after the game, but while the game's ongoing, you know, it's I don't like that, and I agree with him because you know yourself you've made a mistake. You've got enough gone off between your ears at that point. You don't need every time you touch the ball as your own fans to be on your case, and it's not a nice feeling. It's a lonely position, Paddy, as you probably know yourself. And I have to agree with Thomas Frank. You know, sort of vent your frustrations after the game, perhaps not during the game, because it's a difficult
The
one.
keepers are right there, aren't they? You can't get away from the crowd. As a midfielder, you can just run into the middle of the pitch, stay there for a bit, but you are right there. So every time the ball goes out, you're getting the ball for a goal kick, you're doing this.
And you
It's
win. But
the home
horrendous.
fans
The home
as well,
fan-
buddy.
Did you
know what I mean?
ever get it?
I think I probably went through a spell at Newcastle at one point where I was getting a bit of stick, you know, made a few mistakes, and you can hear the moans and groans, and sometimes I always say, but you know, if like you say give a pass away or make a mistake, and it's human nature, but like when 50,000 people are doing, it sounds, do you know what I mean? So yeah, I've had it, and it's not a nice feeling because you're doing your best, and mistakes. The thing is, you said he give a pass away in midfield, you've got 6 guys behind you to rescue.
Yeah.
We give a mistake in goals. There's only a perfectly good net behind you that's going to bail you out.
But also as well, you've got that thing like what Nicky said about that. You know, sometimes you're in the nets and you're going, What about these fucking lads in front?
Yeah.
What about that mistake there? That's allowed him through to put it in
That's
the back
what
of the
fans
net.
are like, though. I remember doing the same at Newcastle. I don't know if you remember when I went. I went on loan for a bit, didn't I, from Newcastle, and then came back. It was a pre-season game.
Where did you go on loan?
Birmingham.
Okay, yeah.
I come back pre-season, and the fans didn't like me. And literally, we played against, who did Diego Forlan play for? Villarreal. Villarreal. And so I was on the bench. It was a pre-season game, and I've come on after about 20 minutes, half an hour. We all got time slots. It's a pre-season game. I got booed on. True story. I got booed on by 55,000 people. I scored 2, got headers.
Yeah.
I got man of the match, but they brought me off because you had time slots. Like I said, so I got booed on, scored 2 goals, got man of the match, and I got booed off. And I must have been the only player to get booed on and off.
2 goals.
And 2 goals and man of the match for you.
When you're walking off and they're booing after you've got man of the match and scored 2 goals, are you not going...
No, I refuse.
What
Remember,
the
you used to have to go upstairs and receive your award, didn't you? I refused to go up. I said, I'm not going up. So I had a bad relationship with Newcastle fans for probably about 9 months, but then it turned around, it was good.
Just talking about when you sign for City, as a player, when you're signing for a club who's just had a big takeover and you hear all the stuff in the press, and it's impossible not to hear about the money that's going about and everything else, and you hear about some of the players that they're looking at bringing in, I think, was Kaka and John Terry sort of around the time, were they muted to sign
possibly,
for City as well?
It was mad because I think the previous winner, Rubinho, signed, and every single window there was like the best pick of the Premier League was popping into town. Obviously, Tevez signed, like your nemesis. Yeah, soccer is. But that banner was, I know these two won't like it, but Welcome to Manchester was quite a cool advertising campaign.
What was it like during that period?
It felt like every time a window come, like the door opens, and we just weren't sure who was coming in. Adebayor, like Santi Roque, Santa Cruz. There was just
manager.
He took you in. He brought you.
Yeah. But like it was amazing for me. I mean, Newcastle were really struggling at that time, and not the Newcastle I joined until 21. We finished second. Then the seasons before I left, there was a relegation fight every year, and the previous owner that was there, he wanted to just keep the club afloat, and it wasn't ambitious and all that. And then Man City come calling, and you think, like as you said, it was big news around the world.
Yeah.
And they could have picked any goalkeeper in world football, and they wanted me. So I was like, this is incredible.
Did Mark Hughes personally phone you first when you heard about that? How does it all work?
Yeah,
You're not allowed to do that.
No, that's illegal. That's an illegal approach. That.
Really? Yeah, but I know it's illegal, but fucking hell, it always goes on. It always goes on.
Did they not ring you?
I was too young back then, lads. I was doing my own thing. I was still playing right back then, so I was like...
It was funny, I had a lawyer at the time look after me, and but I was in a hotel in Manchester, the Lowry, actually waiting for the green light of Newcastle. I think I'd done the medical, but it was back then, it was 2009, I think, waiting on the fax, the famous fax machine.
Yeah.
And you're just looking at this machine in the hotel room. Do you know what I mean? It's just going but it was on deadline day as well. It wasn't like there was loads of time to spare. The clock
was that the start of the season?
No, it was in January, so I think it was the 1st of February or something. And
how much did they pay for you?
I think it was 6.5 or 7 or something.
Why does it always go that late if they want you? Why is it that waiting on that fax to come
they're just
through?
trying to probably squeeze the last money out of it. And there was one thing I've probably said this before, but when I left Newcastle, I had a 10% sell-on fee. So 10% or 6 or 7 million is a hefty fee in it.
Yeah.
And Mike Ashley at the time, he said to me, he says, unless you sign this transfer request, because if you sign a transfer request, you give up that 10%. You're not going anywhere type thing. Anyway, so the clock was ticking, didn't sign it. Anyway, the deadline day I was left back in the corner because I wanted the move to go through then at that point. Signed it and okayed it. But the other side, it was I give up that large sum of money, but also that same day he left the press and the Evening Chronicle in Newcastle was after he asked for a transfer request, there was nothing we could do to keep him. Yeah. So it'd be 12 years at the club and it sort of finished that way. I was frustrated and angry at the way it all sort of finished.
Yeah.
But people would say it was my choice to leave, which it was, but I just think it could have been dealt with better,
I was gutted when Shay left.
Drinking partner?
His mate, no, Miss Scalini's partner. Little Italian on a Monday or Tuesday.
Have you told him the story about your...
Quiet. Quiet.
Come on. It's not too bad. The one about the bandaged hand. Have you told him that story? I think he wasn't in the squad one weekend, and he got the physio to wrap his hand up for Friday night or something.
Oh, that is brilliant.
No, I actually did do a what's called Bennick's fracture. That was called Bennick's fracture when your thumb drops down. scarred there.
I
Scarred.
thought it was a Guinness fracture.
But he walking around like Keith Lemon.
On the Friday night, he went out for a few pints, and to be fair, he wasn't in the squad the next day, but he got the physio to make it look like walking around like Keith Lemon.
Make it work.
Running around the quayside like
Lemon.
I had a Kez on, had a bird on it.
I've pissed me, son. It is, but when it came through that faction, you knew you were going to play for City. Now, my memory's a bit foggy at that time. It weren't Dave Seaman who went number one though.
No, it was Joe Hart.
Oh, was it Joe Hart?
Yeah. So then it was a bit bad for Joe because he got obviously binned at the weekend or benched at the weekend, and he was doing actually well as well. So, and then in the summer he got sent to Birmingham actually on loan for a season. But yeah, we played Middlesbrough in the first game for City, and again, like, I was a bit nervous. I was 33, and you think, oh, you've been around the block, which I had been, but you're joining a new football club, big news. You know, everyone's talking about them. We played Middlesbrough at the 12:30. It was on Sky and all that kind of stuff. You know, the early game and stuff.
Yeah.
And
What's going through your mind the morning? You get up and you're like, you know, you new number one. You know you're going to be playing. It's a good signing on fee. Like, are you thinking, right, just make that first save or the first pass, or what are you thinking?
Again, obviously Joe was doing well, so again, you're going into a football club and they're going, well, that's going to close the door on him. Why do they need to sign him? Sort of, some people were saying that perhaps, but for me personally, it was like, I need to try and impress a new set of fans. Obviously, Newcastle fans knew me inside out, but I know the City fans would have seen me playing on obviously the home games when Newcastle were there, but in my head it was, I've got to impress these fans, and luckily enough, the first day I got man of the match against Middlesbrough.
I watched the game. You
remember that?
Game,
yeah.
I remember, yeah.
And it was just like, you know, it's the perfect start.
Yeah.
You know, you hear some goalkeepers, I don't know, I remember Taibi, remember Man United.
Yeah.
Oh, Christ, I forgot about it.
Do you remember? But
Forgot about it.
There was a good keeper in Italy, and then like he just
Massimo.
What a lovely lad.
was a Matt
nice
Letizia
fella.
that shot, and
He bubbled up. Yeah,
Yeah,
what a
I
nice.
remember his debut at Liverpool. He was unbelievable. He gave a goal away, but he was unbelievable. Man of the match. His first game, I think he only played 4 times.
But he went for a big fee, didn't he? Like he signed for big money, and didn't he?
$4.5 million or something.
Yeah, at the time, I mean,
yeah, which was big.
Yeah.
We bought
But
some
he,
shot.
But you just want to get off to a good start, don't you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
He made that massive mistake, didn't he, against Southampton, went through his legs.
Yeah.
But he'd made a few more. And I actually think his family came over for his first game and he got left out.
Yeah.
But I don't think he ever played it. I think he might have played once again.
When a keeper makes a mistake like that, where you were talking about the hairdryer treatment and everything else, do managers give you the same stick, or is it down to the goalkeeping coach?
it's a bit of both. I think it depends on the manager, I think. I remember playing Chelsea once away. I was on fire pre-season. Everything was going great. 5 minutes into the game, Chelsea were the champions from the season before, so the first game was filmed live on Sky again. And you know, millions around the world, and I think it was Zenden had a shot from the edge of the box, and it was straight at me, and in my head I was like, I was going to do the distribution before I'd even caught it. And I went down to pick it up, and I was about to go, and it literally went straight clean through my legs after 5 minutes, live on Sky TV. It was like the worst feeling ever, like, you know. But the psychology of it all, and I had to sort of keep myself in the game. We managed to get a draw somehow at the end. You know, the lads obviously pulled me out of trouble, like, but again, it's the psychology of a goalkeeper. You've got 85 minutes to stay in the zone. But
must be awful.
It must
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
you see some actually.
You're
sorry,
there as well, like, you got the crowd behind
it's quite
you.
funny. You see
Every time the ball comes
I know.
near you.
They're on your, especially Chelsea.
Yeah.
Chelsea, you know, they're like in the shed, and they were proper abusing me. Like, but it's always funny when you see like outfield players get into goal. You see, I think Harry Kane, John O'Shea went into goals. Real into goals.
Who was the best outfield player you saw going nets during training?
Probably Niall Quinn. Niall Quinn played Gilly.
Big lad.
Yeah, big lad as well. Filled the goal. Like, but he used to do training for Ireland. He used to do penalty shootout, but he would go in the goal. And he would take money like for tenner or something wagers. Like if you score like 3 penalties, he gives you a tenner, and if he saves one,
Was he
you
used
got
to
to pay him.
He used to love it, yeah, in training, yeah.
Was he decent?
Yeah, he was good,
Yeah.
Really good.
It's funny. It's like how did he go on getting down? Because he's a big lad. Was he?
Who, Quinny?
Yeah.
Don't know. He just gambled and went early.
See what I mean?
If you had known this 20 years ago, what a keeper you would have been.
Do you know what's driving me mad as we're talking here? Because of the stick I get off these two. I saved 2 shots in soccer aid when I first started going in the nets off 2. HMRC might be able to help me out or something. I can't remember who it was. 2 top players. It weren't Figo, I forget who. But I just remember, again, the respect. Hitting me hand and me fucking hand bent over that way, and I were giving it the big and like, no,
It's all right.
fucking hell! Thank God it weren't me right hand. That's all I'm saying. But the power, a bit like Tevez. I'd see the ball there, and it was like he had no backlift, and I'm like, oh, I'll just get it out of the back of the net.
And I think some people don't realise it, quickly over goalkeeping. You see sometimes, even now in the modern day goalkeeper, and the ball would just sort of go past them here, but it's pure power, like, and the reaction time. But and then the TV, because I work on TV, and they slow it right down. Yeah. And it's like, why is he not saved? I could have saved that because the ball's coming in. It's just there.
I thought that,
but it's the power it goes past so quick.
I thought that about the goal yesterday.
Which one?
Xerxes' goal. How did that go in there?
That was a weird angle.
Yeah, he kind of went down, didn't he, Henderson? And it sort of
come down the side,
when he took the chest, it was a quick free kick from Fernandes. And I thought, oh, he's not scoring from there. He must be just dink it back into the middle of the box for someone coming up.
I actually thought he went in the near post, but then you see the replay, it hasn't.
I think he's gone down a wee bit early, perhaps, and it's gone past him there.
Got in that gap there.
Well, it's a brilliant finish from him. Like,
I shouldn't score.
No, he shouldn't.
That Fernandes then went above a certain player for assists, all-time assists at United.
Who's that player?
I don't know.
Nicky Butt?
I don't know who it is.
It won't be Scholesy because he always shot.
I don't know who it is. It might be
always
Scholesy.
shooting.
I heard it as a fact, but I don't really want to.
But it weren't a lot.
That's one of my funny ones. I remember the World Cup as well. About Pele, about you, that quote.
Yeah.
What's that?
We've had that, haven't we?
I don't know
You
that.
had that, have you?
Best player at the World Cup. Something like that, wasn't it?
Who said that, Pele?
Yeah.
My mate, Palace.
We spoke about it last week, didn't we? Did we not? Yeah.
But
I don't remember that.
how could you forget
I'd have that fucking tattooed on my chest.
I have.
It's on his arse.
Oh, what a treat
His
that is.
line was brilliant after what he said after.
What was
did
that?
he say, wasn't it?
Got me and Scholesy mixed up, I think.
Brilliant. I love
bullshit.
that. But yeah, like, speaking of that, the power that leaves these, the pro players' boots, who's the person you've been up against with the hardest strike like that we've gone fucking
Probably
hell?
two, I would say Shearer and Balotelli, if you remember Mario Balotelli. Used to do shooting practice, and I'm not even joking. I couldn't see the ball. It was like an absolute exorcist missile going past you, And
I never guessed that with him.
He would just laugh
I
at me.
would,
I've seen a few goals. I thought,
crazy,
hell.
like
He just
the crazy power.
Just didn't do it very often, did he?
No, he was absolutely
Talented lad,
He was off his
Jesus
head,
Christ.
Is he what's happened with Balotelli? Is he now back playing, or is he
know if he's
just
still
chucked
playing.
in or what?
Second division.
Yeah,
so
something like
I
that.
don't know.
But he was a bit of a wasted talent in a sense because he was a brilliant player.
Yeah.
But just sort of never grew up, and was just always messing and
I think the joke with him on it.
yeah. But there was
Yeah.
talent in there, and I think that's why Mancini had a few follows because you knew there was more to get out of him. Like.
I remember one, he's like Steve when he were at City, and you hear stories and whatever. There was one story about it in the press where he got pulled up for something by the police out one night in Manchester, and
every night.
and they were searching him. Something went on, and he had like 10 grand cash on him, a bit like Carragher, and the police officer said, "Why have you got £10,000 in your pockets?" And he went, "Because I am rich." I was like, fucking brilliant. You can't say
There
further
was
than
one with a
that.
firework as well.
Yeah, in the bathroom. Yeah.
Yeah, he did someone's, yeah. As a person who's rented a house to a football in the past, I'm not having that.
No?
No, not having that. I've had
Would the
that.
deposit not cover that?
I'm not going to say who the player was, but I remember getting a call and one day saying, your house is too hot. Right, something's wrong in your house.
Open
It's
the
like,
window, no?
it's like, and I turned up.
you know.
I turned up at the house, and I opened the door. It was like fucking Equatorial Africa. The heat hit me. I'm like, fuck me, this is hot. And I'm going, what's he done here? And I walked round and I went to the radiator and turned it off. And I went, you've got all your radiators on. And he went, oh. I thought, fuck me, this is what we're up against.
Who was it?
Can't tell you.
Oh God!
Can't tell you. He played for Bolton.
Wasn't a Kocha? Was it a Kocha?
No, I wouldn't have even said out to a coach. He could have burnt the fucking house down. I'd have been like, these things happen, JJ. It's a little mistake. It doesn't matter.
We move on.
But I was like, I remember ringing his agent up going, how the fuck do you go on with him? He doesn't know how to turn a radiator off. And that was that. But the name will never be mentioned.
You know what this did today?
It's even stronger.
Fucking
Did you a favour?
we got a train back from London at 9:30.
This is
Quarter to 10.
Nighttime.
Night time. together. I fall asleep. I wake up at Piccadilly Station on my own on the train. He's fucking got off at Stockport and left me on the fucking train.
Still asleep on his own.
My phone's there, my bag's there.
He was getting off the train where the fucking train stops. Piccadilly.
Yeah, but you go like, don't
That's
you?
a fair point.
No, but you go
He
like
was waking up every 5
you
minutes,
go like this,
moaning like
you go like this
fuck.
and go, see mate, I'm going to get off. That's what I do.
But
It's
you
not
might
like-
think. You might think as well. You're sleeping. Don't want to wake
No,
up.
no,
Exactly,
you've not
so
got another hour
no.
train. You've got another hour. It's 5 minutes. It's not gonna
Yeah.
get fucking
10 minutes.
Seven. That's a seven.
Oh,
That's 7 minutes extra. You wouldn't have got.
Doesn't fill me with any kind of happiness asking you this, but the gentleman to the right of you scored an hat-trick past you in a game.
I don't remember that. No, I'm not even joking.
I think
When was it?
I think the score in the end was
You remember that?
6-2.
Oh, I've got a funny story about that actually. No, I do remember. The scoreline is the worst. It's the worst scoreline
most
I've
you
had.
conceded?
Most I've conceded. Yeah.
I don't remember.
Do you remember?
Sorry.
Do you remember? You remember the hat trick? Yeah. I don't remember. Actually,
course
genuinely
I do,
don't
yeah.
remember how his goal scored. Whatever. Blah
6-2
blah.
it was the game.
Yeah, but now you've said that.
We actually went down 1-0.
Now you've said the scoreline, right? And now it's brought back a bit of a story for me, and I remember clearly now because that week leading up to the game, obviously Van Nistelrooy was your main danger man, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So all week, Bobby Robson leading up to the game was we're going to do a man-to-man on Van Nistelrooy. So Jonathan Woodgate was our best defender, and he says wherever he goes, Van Nistelrooy, you go off him. Blah blah blah. After literally 10 minutes, Fergie's gone. Literally, wherever Jonathan Woodgate's right there, and he's our. So Van Nistelrooy, I think he's just told Van Nistelrooy go and stand nearly in the left wing, and Jonathan Woodgate stand next to him. This character next to me, he goes straight through the middle, wide open, like scores a hat trick. But the mad thing after like managers go, the thing he says, we lost 60. Obviously, everyone's like bloody disaster, nightmare, whatever. United, and we were at home by the way. And Bobby Robson goes, hey. But what did Van Nistelrooy do? He done nothing. You know what I mean? He was still in his head thinking, well, if he didn't do nothing, I kept him quiet. But this character here got a hat trick. Yeah, so
six goals past you.
yeah, it's not good, Paddy. It's not good.
How long does it take you to get over something like that as a pro goalkeeper?
I can't remember. I genuinely can't remember
I'm
the
just
goals.
going to try to remember the goals. I remember mine.
Yeah.
You couldn't save any of mine.
Right. Well, that fills me. That's
That's
me
all right.
Well,
That's
I
so
can't
bad.
remember the other ones.
No, I think as a goalkeeper, you got to control the controllables. Like so, if I've chucked a couple in, it's like a bit more difficult to get over. But if the 6 goals have gone in and you've no chance with them, can't remember them, then it's a little bit easier to get over.
Yeah.
But there have been games where I've conceded and been poor and disappointing, and them's the games are much more difficult to get over. You know.
Yeah. Does it? Speaking of goalkeepers unions, when you see a fellow professional keeper have a game like that where there's a bobble, it goes over your foot, goes in, or it goes through your legs, or whatever, these things happen. Do you ever get in touch with each other and go like even in a fun way, like go head up kind of thing? What's wrong with that?
Two characters.
The goalkeepers union.
Just
He's
send a
got
nice
money
little
today. He's got his fucking
mean-
like a little cheeky Christmas outfit.
Christmas elf.
Hey, don't ever go at my size, you fucker. That's fucking bullying.
That's sizes.
Bullying.
Sizes.
But are your mates or any other keepers? Do they go fucking hell?
Probably more if you're at the same club, like not
of a
wouldn't
team,
reach out.
but-
I think a few times I've reached out to the goalkeepers and people have for me, Van der Sar and a few others, Peter Cech when I punctured my bowel.
Yeah.
So it was a really bad injury, and they reached out to me like wishing me well.
Yeah, that's a bit
on
different,
recovery. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
It's a bit different, but I think
Peter Cech was the same, remember his head as well.
I
Yeah.
remember.
Oh, yeah.
I remember going back to that Shay's injury. It was horrendous, wasn't it? And no one knew how serious it was. Did they? It was at West Ham. Was it Marlon Harewood?
yeah.
So he's come out as keepers do really bravely, and you're thinking, oh, straight away, this guy's going to Shay. Shay's a tough lad, and literally he goes down. He's all stops, doesn't it? You go off, and I've come in and I've gone, "You all right, Shay?" He's gone, "Yeah." He's on the medical bed in the middle of changing rooms, and he's gone, "Yeah." I said, "Jesus, I thought I was a goner then," and we're all laughing, going,
So did you come off?
There was 3 or 4 minutes to go. I think we were leading
Yeah.
2-1 or something.
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
It was a 50-50, and obviously just
so
took me
went
out.
right into him, right, obviously in the stomach.
Was
And
it studs into the
No,
stomach?
I think then his defence,
Knees,
I
wasn't it?
think he was going in with these studs, and I
pulled
had
out.
the ball and he pulled out. So he pulled his studs with his knees smashed into me.
right.
And
Well,
the specialist said it was like
Car
he'd
crash,
never seen
right?
it before in sport. He says it's more like a car crash with the steering wheel. You smash into the steering wheel.
But the funny thing is, not funny. But
He was a big lad to be fair.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
fucking
like
hell.
he was actually joking about it, going, "Oh, I thought it was a goner then. I thought it was going to." But he'll tell you the story better than me. But obviously, it's the bleed inside's clogged up.
Yeah.
But he went wet in the shower. We're all in the shower, and Shay just goes boom, hits the floor. Obviously, the bleed started because of the heat.
It's like acid pouring out your stomach, isn't it? So like as if someone was just.
Did you pass out, or was it just agony?
No, I passed out on the bed. Like got me on the bed eventually.
Yeah,
like,
but literally.
So what happened though?
The ambulance, a lot coming.
But the problem is the ambulance had left. The ground said it was all right. The doctor said it was okay.
Yeah.
The ambulance had left in West Ham in Upton Park, the old stadium.
Couldn't get in.
And couldn't get back with the bleeding 40 minutes.
I mean, it was selfish. We nearly missed our train going home.
But the mad thing is we were flying. The mad thing is we were flying back, and they said had it leaked on the plane, like
been in trouble.
the party could have been over. Like,
But you was in hospital for a good few days,
week,
weren't you?
just a week,
yeah.
full week,
I was going to go down. Yeah.
Was in hospital for a week. Literally, like woke up, we play football, and the guys wonder if they open you up and have a look in, and wake up the next morning in the hospital in London with tubes coming out everywhere, like, you know.
Did the club doctor know exactly what it was when he collapsed?
No one knew, because it's obviously internal, isn't it? It's internal bleeding or whatever. Internal.
My God,
it's bad.
Thank Christ.
I was going to go down and see him because he was there for like a week, wasn't you?
Yeah.
But them first class rail travel, it's cost a lot of money. I thought, if he goes, he goes.
And I agree. It must have been tough because, as we know, footballers are slumming it. So when you wake up, tubes everywhere, it's dramatic. Are you thinking that's it, career over?
No, I never ever thought that, to be honest.
How old was you then?
I don't know, probably mid-20s or something. I can't remember, to be honest. I mean, what years,
but would have been 30 because I was. Yeah, when I went to Newcastle, I was 30. You would have been 31. 30.
Yeah, no, I had to get like a sort of ambulance type taxi, a bed to take me back up to Newcastle a week later and stuff, because every time you sneeze or anything, it was just it was so bad. Like, but you said it before about goalkeepers being crazy and stuff, and people always ask me, because it's such a serious injury, the next time you had to dive at someone's feet, like were you a bit tentative? I was like, no, it was just the ball's there and he's getting it, and literally like the I don't know, the switch in your head whenever you crossed it was just, no, I'm straight in again, and if I have to get stitched up again and puncture my bowel again, I'll come back again. But that was the mindset, you know.
That's what used to make me when you used to look at what Scholesy said about Czech with the, like, he had that I used to think that watching him play was that. Do you think that had been his decision to carry on wearing that, or would a medical person say, look, you've got to keep that on?
I think that was a medical thing, because he fractured his skull, didn't he?
As well, also, I think the club's medical made him, within his contract, I'd imagine he'd have to wear that.
Yeah.
Just, cause remember something with, I don't know the insides, but remember when Ericsson signed for United because of his heart? I think he had to sign, I'm not sure about this, so don't quote me on it, but he must have had to sign some sort of waiver around the fact that this could happen again. Yeah. Otherwise, who's going to imagine the insurance on that to insure a player who's had that done and then going to go and play for a football club on X amount of money with a 3 or 4 year contract? That's a massive take.
Risk, yeah.
When I look at some of the managers you played under, Shay, you got Dalglish, Bobby Robson, Souness, Kevin Keegan, Mancini. Can you tell us a little bit about sort of, you know, them as managers and anything that springs to mind?
Well, Kenny, obviously we spoke about already, about what I owed for Kenny, bringing me to Blackburn as a kid and then bringing me to Newcastle and giving me that jersey. And I think one of the best advice that Kenny ever gave me actually was if you have a bad game or make mistakes, never go too hard on yourself. But if you have a brilliant game as well, don't think you're the best goalkeeper in the world. So it's kind of like, just keep a level head, which was really good advice. I think Bobby Robson was really charismatic, and he sort of knew the club in Newcastle. He got the area. You know, his message to the players was, you're the lucky 11 to play for this club. And I think that was, he was very inspirational with these teams talks and stuff. Sui, I'm trying to think of Souness, some of the story. He was sort of brought in as a disciplinarian.
I was going to say, he must have been terrified.
We had some issues with some discipline, with Bellamy and Dyer, and then obviously the famous Dyer and Boyer fight.
Was Souness in charge then?
Yeah, and Boyer. Yeah, Souness in charge.
So hang on, you two were playing in that game. You got Souness, who was like a disciplinarian.
I blame Buddy for not passing it. They wanted to think at the time.
What was it like in the change rooms after? Or what was it like on the pitch, firstly, and you're watching it unfold? You surely was going, what the fuck's going on here?
It was a bit surreal, wasn't it?
It's crazy.
You were in the middle of it, and you had to break it up, didn't you?
I ran over because I'm thinking that one of my teamates is having a fight with the opposition. But the closer you get, and you're seeing 2 black and white shirts playing each other, you're thinking, oh no. It's one of them things where you can't really explain it. But I remember the aftermath wasn't great. I mean, Souness
were they fighting in the dressing room as well?
No, I think Shearer coming out and pop at him. Souness come in and said, if you think I'm going up there on my own, because he did a lot of press after the game. He dragged them to a press conference, didn't he?
Which one's your favourite to play for, Shay? we played a lot of England lads who played for Kenny Dalglish, and they loved him.
I would say probably Kenny.
He's great, isn't he?
And the thing is, the bad thing with the Newcastle fans, he didn't overly warm to him, because it was after Keegan, and he had to sort of try and get a balance raise and sort of a bit more defensive than just all out sort of attack, But Yeah, I think just Kenny, the person he was, but then I suppose the most successful time was Bobby Robson at Newcastle with Champions League football and what the club meant. They got the club back. I think it was bottom of the league whenever he took over.
So Bobby signed me.
Was it?
So when I signed it with Sir Bobby, I literally, I was going anyway because I was at Newcastle was I wanted to go and play for them when I left Man United. But the big pull was Sir Bobby.
Yeah.
So I remember going, and he said we were going to do big things here. Because I remember that when I signed, before I signed, it was like third in the league, Champions League every year. Yeah. Shay playing Shearer, Clivert, Bellamy, Dyer, Woodgate. They had a proper team. Yeah. And I remember I think I'm probably in a room with you. The first time you go back to England, it's usually September, isn't it? And for the next get together, it's dead early, isn't it?
End of
August,
September. Yeah.
It's like 3 days, 3 games in, sacked. It's like I've just signed for this guy. It was horrendous. And I remember him as such a. I don't know him as well as Shay does, but lovely man and gentleman, but a proper football person.
Yeah, loved it, didn't he?
It was a real pleasure. I met him a couple of times, only briefly, but just having a quick chat with him and leaving, like what you were saying, we were joking about Pele saying that about, but certain people you meet and you think, wow, I've met someone proper there.
And you know I mean? People like that as well, Paddy, they had a presence about them. So if Bobby walked in that room now, I'll be going.
Well,
a bit like Fergie, I suppose.
Fergie, bit of same, exactly same. You just knew when they were
got a presence about him. And Kenny Dalglish, you'd be like.
Yeah, you
can't really feel him walking in the room before you see him.
Can you? You feel like it could be walking down the corridor. You know he's there.
Yeah. It's funny because even when I watch football now, and you're watching the Premier League games, like if I see a United game and they go, "Oh, Sir Alex is watching," even me sat at home, I go, "Fucking hell." Like through the telly, it's a funny one. Then it's certain people.
So else like that
presence
Kevin Keegan as well. He came back. He came back, didn't he? When for a small. When I was there, he came. I weren't there the first time when he did so well, but the second time he come back, it was brilliant.
Was you two? Was that before your time playing for England when he was in charge?
Kevin Keegan.
Yeah.
No, we played for him.
Yeah.
Right, so obviously you've all played for him. What was he like? Because he's one of them people for me growing up. You'd go to your mate's house and there'd be a Keegan poster up.
Patrick Keegan kid. Did you have a pair of them boots? I had Patrick Keegan
but
kid.
What was he like then?
For me, I think Keegan. I think it was you guys obviously played for England, whatever, but. At Newcastle, I always found him going around the dressing room and he'd be speaking to Buddy and then he'd go over to Alan or whatever it was and blah blah blah. And one day came to the keepers always had the most horrendous, like the design of the kit would be multicoloured, like a 6-year-old like made the thing. Like I can't remember what they had, this one with some horse or something on the front of it. I can't remember what it was. It looked horrendous, right? And I was getting after I'd done the warm up, came in getting the the match kit on, and he's come over to me and he goes, "Not sure about that kit, Shay." And I was like, yeah, it's not great, is it, or whatever. Like, no, but you try to break the ice because the pressure of just about to go on the pitch. He says, but you know what? I'm sure about the person wearing it. Oh, and he just walked off, like, I was like, come on then. Do you know what I mean? Like little things he would say to you.
He did give you confidence.
It's brilliant.
Do you know what I mean? I was
He used to come around and sit around every table, didn't he, with England? Just telling stories. He's brilliant. He's like a manager. He's like one of the players, wasn't he?
It's funny because you don't really see him now sort of just doing punditry or anything. He's just sort of like...
I think Nicky sees him every
now and then. He lives near me.
Does he?
Literally 5 minutes.
I'd love to meet
5 minutes
Kevin
away,
Keegan.
Always walking down Hale with his wife.
We went
for dinner with him in Hale about 6 months ago, 5 months ago, something like that. Really lovely man.
Oh, fucking hell! I'm gonna have to do an accidental and go. Oh, I didn't know you.
You should get him in. Actually, he'd be great fun.
Oh, what about that? Shall we get Kevin Keegan? I say we, as though I can do it.
We'll give it a go. He's a lovely man. Yeah.
Oh, I'd love that.
And he got the meal.
He got the meal
as well. Yeah. I'll tell you a story
It's a shock you didn't pay.
We used to always be. I paid for your ticket coming home from London.
Yeah, I paid for your upgrade.
Yeah, you didn't pay.
You two alright or what?
Literally, we played head tennis. Didn't he? He's playing him and Terry Mack.
He loved playing.
Yeah, so he played head tennis with him and Terry Mack, and it was me and Michael Owen.
Right.
Head tennis. And you just think, how are they beating us, these two old guys with a little trick? They used to let the ball down, so they won't move very fast. So because basically now, Scholesy is obviously one of the best. If you're a skillful player, you never lose your skill, but you lose your pace, you lose your reaction time. So the ball was flat, cheating bastards. So we had a bet, it was 100 quid and we got beat, so I'm like, but he kept always going, well, you ex-Man United players don't like getting beat, do you? You don't like so we'd have this bit of banter going back and forwards, and I said something up to him about, I can't remember what it was. I remember when Newcastle come second and he was going, what was the famous rant?
Oh, I'd love it.
So I was doing that to him, I'd love it. It was a bit of banter to him, Fro. And he said, yeah, well, you might have done that, son, but I've got 2 European Cup. Ballon d'Ors, whatever. They've got 2 Ballon d'Ors sat in there if you want to have a look at it. But he had a batter. So I'm thinking, right. So I went to the bank in Jesmond in the morning and I ordered about £100 worth of 2p's and 1p's.
Brilliant.
And I poured him on his desk like that. And I've gone back out and I've gone, because it was that kind of manager. I never had that with Sir Alex, because he was like standoff.
Yeah.
But with Kevin, he was coming set like score. He was just a lovely man.
I love that. I like hearing things like that. Listen, Shay, we're coming to the end, pal, but we can't let you go without talking a little bit about Ireland. Tell me a little bit about, obviously you've played for them, but watching them now, what's the feeling?
Well, we had a good few weeks there. A couple of months ago, we went to Armenia, I think, in the qualifying, lost, and everyone thought the World Cup dream was over. And then they just finished so strongly. 3 wins on the bounce, I think it was, and Portugal were coming to town in the second last game, Ronaldo and co, and credit to the lads, before Ronaldo even got sent off, they were 2-0 up, so I think they really deserved that. And could they go to Hungary 3 or 4 days later and beat Hungary in the last game? It was 2-1 down with 10 minutes to go, and again, the World Cup dream was over. But Troy Parrott was 5 goals in 2 games. It was just a phenomenal 4 days for him, and
he's just
we're not
cemented his name in history.
We're not there yet, but
no.
It kind of shows you, it was mad because the lads, and I feel for them, but because the last, I don't know, many years, or 10 years, they've gone through the doldrums, they've gone, and I think this is the first time they've felt the nation going, oh my God, because there was I don't know if you've seen some footage online, in bars and restaurants and even Dublin Airport and stuff, and there's babies getting lofted, there was there was granddads jumping up off wheelchairs and stuff, but other sports, there's some great sports in Ireland, rugby and Gaelic, and don't get me wrong, they're all magnificent sports, but the football does something different, Paddy.
Before we wrap up, pal, something I just, as a fellow goalkeeper, give me, of all time, your top 3 keepers.
Oh, good show.
That's a good question, Paddy.
Yes,
I knew you'd come good.
Save it till the end. It takes me a while to get it
could have
going.
given me a heads up yesterday on the text. I texted him yesterday, can you send over briefly what we're talking about? He goes,
Can you imagine?
He goes, we normally get that later on. I'll drop it through to you later.
Can you imagine
look on the phone this morning.
Said to you, yes.
Still nothing.
If he sent you, yes, certainly. Do you know how honey's made?
To be fair, I'm going to send it, but if he sees this script, he won't turn up.
Top 3 all time.
Top 3 of all time. What's a big statement, that?
But
Schmeichel's got to be one.
Premier League or
just in
anywhere.
general?
All time.
All time.
I'm going to go. It has to be in order, or
Start with number 3.
You can go 3
Start
first,
with
and
three.
let's finish with a
I'll
big
go with
hit.
number 3. I'll go with Iker Casillas as number 3.
That's 3.
Really?
Really?
Who people go, really? All right, it's
Go on then. Give us a little why.
He made his debut, I think, in the Champions League final in Hampden Park. Remember Zidane scored that worldly thing.
left foot volley, yeah.
He was 18 years of age, picked up a European Cup, and since that he's won.
You didn't have a save to make.
Oh, you pipe down a minute, finish.
Hey, funny.
Hang on, man. He's won, I don't know how many Champions Leagues he's won, how many La Ligas he's won. He's won the Euros with his country, he's won the World Cup, and he was a captain through all that. So I think he deserves top 3, doesn't he?
Good point, yeah.
I said 2 to be fair.
Can't believe he's on number 1.
Number 2, I'm probably going to go Petr Cech.
Right.
I think, when he came into Chelsea and what he'd done with, Mourinho and stuff, and he was a phenomenal talent. The goalkeeper. He was really sometimes a bit used to Schmeichel. But number 1 for me is Peter Schmeichel. I've said this many a time. Growing up, I used to look up to him, and even Fergie would have said the points that he, obviously these 2 guys next to me played with him. The points that he would have won, and a lot of the titles they would have won. I know the forwards and the attacking players would have got the headlines, but the amount of points he won and some of the saves was just. He was just my hero, absolute legend.
Dave Seaman won't be happy though, will he?
I can't believe Yaskalainen hasn't made it.
I would agree with that. I'm sorry, we're going to a little bit more. Do you think he'd play for Pep Guardiola, Michael?
Good question, now. Well, they brought in Donnarumma now, haven't they?
Yeah.
And you would argue that Donnarumma's not the best with the ball at his feet at times, So it's mad to think, because Schmeichel, I don't know how many years ago when he was in his prime or whatever, but remember he used to come out to the edge of the box, catch a ball and throw it about 70 yards to Giggs or to Beckham, and he'd set off a counter-attack. And now Ederson does it now or whatever, or the modern-day goalkeeper goes, the way they've revolutionised the game. Schmeichel was ahead of him, 20 years ahead of all that. He used to set off counter-attacks for fun, didn't he? He was unbelievable.
Yeah.
So probably,
Right, okay.
That's all I wanted to
Keep it
check.
simple, just say yeah.
Yeah. Hey, can you please come back on again? I've thoroughly enjoyed this lovely chat here, and I feel as though I've had a bit of someone on my
Back in the
side.
union, back in the
Back
union.
in the union.
Paddy's got a semi on.
Yeah, glad you noticed. Thanks very much for coming on, pal.
Cheers.
Fantastic.
No problem. Thank you.
Well, that's it for today's The Good, The Bad and The Football. You can catch us every Monday from 6 o'clock on all your usual channels, YouTube, Apple, Spotify and everywhere else.